Hi, as I always say, if you stumble across this video, it won't hurt you. If you are in my class, you're in the right spot. I have tried to film this video 10 times already, and it's hard to get my points exactly how I want to make my points. And so what I have for sure is my book. Open up to chapter 2, Physical Activity Epidemiology. I have Blackboard in front of me. I've said it 10 times on video already. I keep erasing. I have new computer glasses, which help me immensely. And I will see in Blackboard, I have posted different readings in addition to the textbook. So other readings in addition to the textbook, and the instructions are clear. You can use a combination of those and your textbook to formulate your answer. And the question is are we worse off in society because of high rates of obesity and high rates of physical inactivity, right? So it's the inactivity part, not the activity part. And the essay, our assignment instructions have that little introduction, and it says this. It says, all textbooks have this chapter. All textbooks have a chapter justifying or stating the paradox of physical activity is good for you. Most likely obesity is bad for you, yet people engage or not engage. So if I don't engage in physical activity, I would, in theory, burn fewer calories. But if I engage in poor nutritional strategies, I would gain weight. And why is that? Because people know that it's not right, or not right. It's not a moral issue. It's people know it's not healthy. Right? And we know that not everybody knows that when you take a walk around the block, your mind dramatically changes to go from negative to positive just with a walk around the block, right? And probably certain foods do the same thing, help us feel more positive. Sometimes they are comfort foods, but that's not the point. When I was at Illinois, I've got about 3 points to make. I had a class like this, and it was the first time I heard the word obesity in my mind. I had 4 majors and 4 semesters, so I was not in kinesiology long enough to have classes that I would be introduced to exercise physiology, health behaviors, those things. So obesity, somewhere in the late 80s, was the first time I heard that word. And it was common. Eating the Dairy Queen, going home after practice and eating out of a can, ravioli, and then having dinner. For whatever it wasn't a big deal. I tell you, it was not a big deal. And then all of a sudden, the world shifted very quickly. And so, in the essay, I mentioned technology. For me, is one thing that I might lean to saying the world isn't worse off, or my community isn't worse off. I think kids are worse off for not having the fun of physical activity and the joy. Now, that doesn't mean all kids don't play. Again, it creeps a lot more into adolescence, where you can find countries where the estimates are 1% of children or adolescents meet the MVPA requirements, and that means that they're just athletes. They play soccer, right? They play basketball, and so I think that part is a bad deal. But when I think of the couple stories I want to say right now about technology, I think the world is much better off, right? Because in that same period of the 80s, my Grandma Wills was going to go blind, and I get emotional. 5-minute surgery, 30-second surgery, bam, lights on. Bam, my grandma's back. Bam, back in it. Just like that. All right, so technology, laser surgery, things that for you are commonplace. Again, I'm older than your parents, right? It'll be a time and point where I do this video and I'm old enough to be the student's grandparent. Bam, my grandma was back. Right? She could run the walking club in my hometown. She could do everything. She was independent again because of technology. In the essay I discuss, in 8th grade, I saw the first computer of my life. And it was, in my mind, it's that you don't know what that is. I mean, it'd be in a history book. These rectangle things stood up, and my teacher turned it on and he turned it off. Right? He was in his 50s. What does he know about a computer? What does he know about the future of the world, right? What does he know? And so one of my classmates and I would go back and look at it, and after class, after school, and learn to program, X plus X equals Y, whatever it is, and elementary programming. I wish I would have known more. I wish I would have been engaged more in it, right? It's incredible, right? And so I'm going to wrap it up. I don't think, if you've been watching the videos, which a lot of you are, I change out the photo on my left. This is Katie and James, and then if I remove that photo, then you see our oldest and youngest, Katie and Ian Michael. Katie and James is our oldest grandson. And, we don't think that an ice cream cone is going to ruin him or the world, right? Or grandparents, right? Grandparents do things like that. My guess is that Mary and I would stop. We do one ice cream cone. We don't do 10 a day, right? I think there's some mix of something that's good for us, and then there's some level that it becomes bad for us. As always, I really look forward to reading your answers. Again, with these things, I hope not to become more critical, that I can find mistakes, but I hope that I can just read easier.